I grew up in a house where shadows whispered more than people did. My mom had left when I was still young, and it was always just me and Dad. He wasn't the loud type, not the kind who told you everything would be fine. Instead, he carried his comfort in small things. The way he made my tea exactly the way I liked it. The way he waited for me at the gate every evening, as if protecting me from the world outside. But as I grew older, the feelings inside me began to change. At first, I thought it was just admiration. After all, he was strong, dependable, and the only one who had ever been there for me. But then late at night, when the house was quiet and his shadow passed my bedroom door, my heart would race in a way that scared me. One evening, I came home late from college. The streets were dark, and my phone battery had died. I walked quickly, nerves tingling, until I saw him, my dad, waiting at the corner with his arms folded. The sight of him under the streetlight felt like safety itself. When his eyes met mine, I realized something had shifted. "Why didn't you call?" he asked, his voice sharp, almost angry. "My battery died." I whispered, guilty and strangely shy. He sighed, pulling me close. "Don't scare me like that again." That night, as he poured me a cup of tea, our hands brushed. I pulled mine back too quickly, but not before I saw the hesitation in his eyes. Like maybe he felt it too. The days turned into weeks, and the silence between us grew heavier. One night, a storm rolled through the town, knocking the lights out. The house was swallowed by darkness, and thunder rattled the windows. I found myself walking to his room, pretending I was scared of the storm. He was sitting by the window, staring at the rain. When I stepped inside, he looked at me for a long time before speaking. "Do you ever feel like the world is watching, waiting for us to make one wrong move?" he asked softly. I froze. Was he talking about us? My throat tightened. Yes. Life after that moment changed. We didn't speak of it, not directly. But every glance, every accidental touch carried weight. The world outside could never know, but inside the walls of our home, we lived in a fragile secret. One afternoon, as I prepared for a family gathering, I caught him staring at me longer than usual. His voice trembled when he said, "You look beautiful." It was the first time I had ever heard him say it, and it wasn't just a father's compliment. It was something else, something that tied my heart to his forever. But love born in shadows can't stay hidden forever. People began to notice. My aunt questioned why I refused to date anyone. Friends whispered about how protective Dad seemed. The tension grew unbearable. One night he sat across from me, his hands clenched. "We can't keep living like this. One day someone will find out." Tears burned my eyes. "Then let them. I don't care what they think. I love you." For a long time he didn't move. The clock ticked louder, the air heavy. Finally, he reached across the table and held my hand. "Then we walk this path together, no matter how dark it gets." Our story isn't the kind you read in books, or the kind people celebrate. It's a story made of stolen moments, whispers in the dark, and a love no one would ever understand. But it's ours. And sometimes, when he looks at me like I'm his whole world, I realize, maybe love doesn't have to make sense to be real. Maybe it only has to be felt. Because at the end of the day, love, no matter how impossible, is still love.